QBs have expectations, but some are clearly higher than others. But we got to break it all down, and we're going to break all of them down, starting with the #1 overall pick. That's Jaguars' Trevor Lawrence. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I'm going to shoot y'all straight. Lower your expectations for Trevor Lawrence this season. He is going to struggle. It's not just on Trevor Lawrence, but remember, it is hard to be greater than your environment. We know how bad the Jaguars have been the last decade, outside of one flash in the pan year in 2017, where they stumbled miraculously into an AFC championship game. But y'all know what they say, even a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to have great success this season because they don't have a lot of help. He doesn't have no 1,000-yard receivers. Marvin Jones is probably his best receiver at 30, 31 years of age. I get it. DJ Chark is coming along. Laviska Shenault is a baller. But now is not the time for Trevor Lawrence. Give him a year or two, and then he's going to take off. But, Sam, what are your expectations for Trevor Lawrence?
Well, Emmanuel, the bar is low, so my expectations for him are high. You love track. You're a track guy. You feel like you're sprinter. You do your track thing. You've been to track meets. You see you got the high jumpers doing their thing. But when the bar is that low, it's easy to go over. It's like a warm-up. And so this season for Trevor Lawrence in a lot of ways is going to be like a warm-up. Yes, he was dominant in college. And yes, I understand that Jacksonville does not have a lot of weapons, but the bar is extremely low. Another way to think of it, think about it as low-hanging fruit. So the apples, the oranges, they just right here. He didn't have to reach up so high. And so he's gonna have great success. I would say give him a winning season. They're not gonna go to the playoffs or anything, but man, it's a super low bar.
Winning season.
Winning
bold
season.
Bold speak. All right, let's move on to the second quarterback that came off the board, Zach Wilson. Now, if you thought it was gonna be bad for Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, I must be honest, it will be rough for you. Y'all gotta think about this. Not only do the Jets not have a 1,000-yard receiver, they don't have a 1,000-yard running back. What's the quarterback's best friend, besides an offensive line? A running game. But the difference is this. Hey, Zach Wilson, you playing in the Big Apple, big dog. Trevor Lawrence can win 5 games, and nobody's gonna know. But if you win 5 games, we all gonna talk about it. Probably gonna lead the show with it, honestly. I think Zach Wilson struggles because his expectations are just as high as Trevor Lawrence's. Not because he was a #1 pick, but because he came out of BYU. So in theory, he was probably overdrafted. But are you gonna be overdrafted and underdeliver? That is bad news. Bucky Brooks, what's your expectations for Zach Wilson this season?
Oh, I think Zach Wilson is going to hit the ground running. In fact, I believe he's set up for success because this system is one that elevates quarterbacks. I saw this same system elevate Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, your favorite, Baker Mayfield. It is going to allow Zach Wilson to play at a high level. Mike LaFleur has surrounded this young quarterback with weapons. The offensive line that you talk about, they drafted Elijah Vera-Tucker to go with Mekhi Becton, so now they're beefy. They got a running back in Michael Carter that will help them out. The 2 receivers, Corey Davis brought over from Tennessee, Elijah Moore gives them 2 guys that can get open. Yeah, it's Broadway, it's a big stage, but I think he embraces the lights on Broadway. Zach Wilson plays well right out the gate.
He's a runner, he's a track star. I don't see it, but I like it. Next up, Trey Lance. Now, he went #3 to the Niners. Fellas, I gotta be honest, this is where it gets tricky for me. Trey Lance will ball when Trey Lance plays. The question is, when will Trey Lance play? The reason he gonna ball is because he has a quarterback's second best friend, I guess, besides a running game. He got George Kittle, an outlet at tight end. He also has an explosive runner at the running back position, Raheem Mostert. But beyond all that, he got Kyle Shanahan. And if you are a competent quarterback under Kyle Shanahan, the operative word being competent, if you are a competent quarterback under Kyle Shanahan, you always ball, whether Matt Schaub, Robert Griffin, Matt Ryan, Jimmy G, and soon-to-be Trey Lance. So Trey Lance will ball. I just don't know when he's going to get on the field. Sam, what are your expectations for Lance?
Oh, he's absolutely going to ball, but he's absolutely going to sit this season. I remember last year, or actually 2-3 years ago, when Pat Mahomes had just got drafted and he was finishing up his first year, just played 1 game, and I was at the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl sitting with him, and I didn't know too much about him. He just had a 1-game sample size. But this dude was dialed in. He had sat a whole season, ready to thrive. I know we're a season before that, where you're going to see Trey Lance on the bench, watching, dialed in, ready to go when his number is called. We saw what Kyle Shanahan did with RG3 back in 2012. Dominant season. You're going to see the same thing. It just might take 1 extra year.
I can co-sign that. But I got to get to the player I'm most excited about. Let's be real. Justin Fields. He landed in the best spot. better spot than Trey Lance, better spot than Mac Jones, who we'll talk about shortly. Justin Fields, you know the Bears love him because they traded up from the 20 slot to the 11 slot to get him. But we talked track and field. Sam, you brought it up. A high jumper jumping over a low bar. But now imagine one of the greatest high jumpers jumping over the lowest bars, because I like Mitch Trubisky. Sam, I know you like Mitch Trubisky, but Bears fans hated Mitch Trubisky. So Justin Fields, you don't have to do anything but come in and be greater than the person everybody disdained. Imagine how easy that is to do. Plus, you and I have the same suit guy. Shout out to my guy Soto & Co. He keep you laced. So when I look at it, Justin Fields is going to go out there and he is going to ball because they have a receiver in Allen Robinson. They have a 1,000-yard running back in David Montgomery. They have another gadget running back in Tariq Cohen. And I actually like Matt Nagy, the quarterback, the head coach. He's been looking for his quarterback in Patrick Mahomes, who he was coordinating over in KC. He's found his Patrick Mahomes want-to-be in Justin Fields. Bucky, what are your expectations for Fields this season?
Oh, I'm with you. I think the expectations should be high for Justin Fields. I expect him to play and play early. Moreover, I expect him to play at a high level. Remember, when Matt Nagy took over the Bears went right to the playoffs, and Mitchell Trubisky played at a Pro Bowl level. Justin Fields is bigger, faster, stronger, and a more talented passer. All Matt Nagy has to do is not mess this up. Justin Fields will lead the Bears back to the playoffs. And remember, this was a playoff team a season ago. When they get all the pieces back on defense or whatever, they're going to be ready to rock. I think they finished second in the NFC North. Justin Fields plays a major role in that success.
Oh, well, let's finally get to the last one. That's who? Mac Jones, 2-8-1-3. I'm not going there. Y'all not from Houston. Y'all won't get it. Mac Jones went number 15 to the Patriots. And again, Mac Jones is very similar to Trey Lance for me. I think whenever he steps on the field, he will likely ball. But the question is, again, when will he step on the field? The other question is this, because my typical co-host, Marcellus Wiley, he always says, if you're a Patriots quarterback, you either have to sit on the bench or you will suck. Those are the two options. No rookie quarterbacks for the Patriots, or at least no quarterback for the Patriots who gets there and has to play right away succeeds. Even Tom Brady. Yes, they were 11-3 under Tom Brady, but he had 18 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. So I do think when Mac Jones plays, the Patriots will play well because their defense, because of their head coach. So Mac Jones will look good. But even if and when he plays, I'm not sure how well he will play, because if you're playing your first year, to quote the great philosopher Marcellus Wiley, as a Patriot, you either sit or you suck. And for once, I'll say Marcellus is right on that take. But Sam, what are your expectations for Mac Jones this season?
Oh, Mac Jones is going to sit. And you talked about if and when. It's a big if and also a bigger when of when he's going to get on the field. Back in 2016 with the Bears, we scrimmaged the Patriots. They had this thing called a developmental squad. So you had Tom Brady, who was a starter, Jimmy G going with the twos. But then at practice, they had Jacoby Brissett, who was a rookie, with, in a lot of ways, the threes, the practice squad, the developmental squad. We're all talking about how Mac Jones is going to come in and shine and compete for a starting spot. I believe Mac Jones is going to be in the developmental squad. Why? Because it takes time to get better. No one sees the behind the scenes. But what happens is he gets in the field, he gets in the playbook, he learns the defense, learns the offense, learns how to read defenses, and learns how to play ball. But it's going to take time.
I think that's what happened with my NFL career. I never really got off the developmental squad. Oh, well, still ended up here. Bucky Brooks, I need your take because I know you're hot on Cam Newton and you're hot on Mac Jones and you're hot on this competition. What's Mac Jones going to do, if anything, this season?
Yeah, I think he's going to sit behind Cam Newton. I expect Cam Newton to play much better. I think we tend to forget Cam Newton last year was playing really well prior to the COVID infection. When he got COVID, it changed his game. He was never the same after that. I think he now hits the ground running, plays at a high level. For Mac Jones, I expect him to sit, develop, but when he does get his opportunity, the Patriots will continue to surround him with talent because it's important that he has playmakers on the outside. I like the tight ends. They still need an upgraded wide receiver. But in 2022, Mac Jones may look good as a Patriots quarterback.
Bucky going all in on Dak Prescott and Cam Newton. I guess it is Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up, the Browns, well, they're all in on Baker Mayfield. But I'm going to tell you how far they can go.